On my kicker tonight, it would really be refreshing for our country if the next general election would be decided by real issues. And what a miraculous breakthrough it would be if the ongoing insults and jokes about the economy can actually mutate into a real conversation about the economy. And it would be such a revitalizing departure from the norm if real issues and not the usual determine the choices of the voters in elections. By the usual, I mean the only two factors that have characterized the last three elections, that is ethnicity and fear. It is almost inspiring to hear politicians throw around random quotations about the economic models from other countries. Some are aggressively sharing a tweet in which former US presidential aspirant Elizabeth Warren slams the trickle-down economic model in favor of what she terms a bottom-up approach. All this should be a truly welcome change if politicians and aspirants for different offices, especially the presidency, appreciate that increasingly in democracies whose slogans they admire, the gap has closed down considerably between what politicians say on the stump and what they actually deliver. Let's face it, election promises and pledges, whether realistic or unrealistic, modest or lofty, or even fake or real, are considered a legitimate ingredient of vote-seeking democratic processes. And so, Kenyans should brace themselves for an interesting 12 months of promises, but should be aware that not every promise made by politicians, whether in Kenya or indeed the United States, has ever been fulfilled. In a recent article, Canadian Member of Parliament Garnet Genius explains that political promises are difficult to keep. And one of the reasons I would find relevant to Kenyans is the absence of political honesty. MP Garnet says, and I quote, "One reason is that, unfortunately, not everyone running for office is completely honest. Some politicians might make commitments that they have no intention of keeping." End of quote. It is a statement that perhaps best explains our political landscape today, the mountain separating delivery from the promises made by politicians before the last three elections. Others describe that gap as outright lies, and others say it is the absence of conscience among political leaders that make those promises that they know very well that they can't keep. But fear of broken promises should, however, not discourage us from that great wish that issues should decide elections from this time on. We have done ethnicity and learned, or so I hope, that there is no ethnic formula to running a modern state or managing a modern economy. We have tried fear only to realize, or so I hope, that those we fear, or those who fear us, are inseparably bound to us in common nationhood under one flag. We've done our cycle and hopefully discovered through the last three election cycles that the futility of that tribe and fear cycle. And so from bottom up and top down, let us try ideas, philosophies, viewpoints, and values in the next election. And let us in the meantime watch out for that flood of lies that may join the party. That is my kicker.